you get that?
Jesus fucking Christ, in case we didn't get that.
Welcome to episode 50 of the Year of Our
Chris
Lord. Could be better in the podcast.
Continue to argue over everything. It's not getting any better. Somebody's going to have to help us out. We're going to need a replacement co-host.
Either a replacement co-host or a counselor. One of the two.
It's irreparable.
I don't think so. There's always... Listen, in 5 minutes, we could fix all of our problems. We just need to try.
It's 2 slices of pizza and a Dr. Pepper. That's what fixes it.
I wish that was the case. So for folks tuning in, yeah, it's been a bit since we've done the Fireball.
Yeah, so I'll do one right now. I'm tired. This will wake me up. Buckle in, fellas. Hey, this is one of the first episodes we've ever done that I stone cold sober until now. So God bless you, Soul Coughing.
Yeah. So episodes brought to you in part by our sponsor, Texas Roadhouse, where you get the best rolls, the best salads, and the best steaks. We are actively doing a giveaway right now where you can get a $50 Texas Roadhouse gift card. And 2 free tickets to the Crystal Casino Band's CD release show at 930 Club on Thursday, February 9th. If you enter...
It sounded like you said Sexist Roadhouse. And I was like, this sexist Roadhouse.
Do you like that? Because we could change it. We are now in partnership and cahoots with these people.
We're so in bed with Texas Roadhouse.
I could reach out. I could say, hey, what if you guys went from Texas to sexist? Would that sound?
Yeah. Sexist, not sexist, sexist.
Mm-hmm. Like Christmas, but sex time.
Right. I think after we're done recording this, I'm going to run to Sexist Roadhouse and drink me some fireballs.
So again, our ticket giveaways for, again, so the promo, it actually ends. It ended already and we announced the winner. Everybody had a great time.
We did. Actually. Yeah. It was you. You know who we're talking about.
Congratulations, person.
Yeah. Thank you for your essay on why you should win.
Yeah, your essay, and thanks for tagging in. I think it was your grandma and your best friend Sally, and both of them said, "Hey, this podcast is really bad. Why'd you tag me in this?" And we said, "You're the winner.
You're the winner. Now you promised to donate to the Could Be Better charity."
It's the yes. Speaking of charity. Our partnership with Old Mother Brewing Company. We are so excited to be partnering with Old Mother for this podcast. We have shows coming up there this weekend. We have Saturday, January 28th is emo night. Yeah. So we have
Nick hired, then fired, then hired, then fired, then hired, then fired.
It's crazy.
I hate all of you.
First practice definitely has happened, and it definitely was great. Nick 182.
No, you're talking shit.
Blink 182 cover bands open up the show.
Oh, who's playing in that? Oh, I thought no, wait, I'm not. Oh, sorry.
But maybe you are. Wait, no, no, you're not.
No, you're not. You're not.
Timberwolves Front Desk Brett's band is playing an Alkaline Trio set. We have Weatherworn playing at Taking Back Sunday, and I heard it's only the first 3 albums. So if people have the new stuff, don't come. And then we have Soul Meets Body playing Avril Lavigne, 6:30. It's free, 21 plus to drink, all ages to go. And that covers all of our stuff. And then the network. It's been going great, Colin. We've launched 2 podcasts, and it's been everything I imagined it would be.
And more.
Way more.
And we sent them gifts.
We as
GIFs.
Yes. we as corporate overlord podcast bosses sent our podcast folks some gifts. So for folks that listened to their first episodes, they did share what they would like for fans to send in. And so we went to the internet
stream. Yeah.
And we sent them some gifts. So maybe they'll talk about it on their podcast.
They won't, but there are 2 life-size gummy bears that you can eat. There's 1 raincoat. There's 1 umbrella.
No. Those are our gifts. Those are the ones we got last year.
Oh, shit. Well, what do we do with that other life-size gummy bear? Because the last thing I heard about the gummy bear was a bird's beak was stuck in it on the outside of the Could Be Better studios.
Yeah, that Front Desk Brett told a really sad story that was really bleak about a beak, and it was...
Bleak about a beak.
That's my solo record name. All right, so I think we can now talk about this.
Open for Owl City. Get it?
Boo. You know, it's funny though. The show is sponsored by show sponsored by Twitter.
That's right. Take that. You know what? Elon Musk doesn't have all his money, but he has enough to sponsor us.
Chirp,
Listen to
chirp, chirp.
that. Oh,
All right. I was trying to think of another bird reference. I don't think I have another bird. Oh, dude, but the Eagles of Death Metal
the
are opening that
birds.
show
Oh,
too.
I thought you were going to say the Eagles. Welcome to the Hotel Cal of Sexes.
Texas Roadhouse, baby. All right. So we are partnering with I.M.P Productions at Old Mother. We are
Can you believe that? Nobody can
no,
believe that. They look at
no, we
us
can't.
and they say, look at these two fuckos.
It's
Just so
exactly what
happened.
Matt said. It's
That's
exactly
what
what Matt said.
I feel so bad for butchering the soul coughing reference with him. I do. I hope he hears this and he takes my apology.
Yeah, I mean he'll put you on the guest list for Neil Young. It'll be fine.
Yeah, well, at the Lincoln Theater,
At
hopefully.
the, I'm
That's
happy.
probably the only place Neil Young would play in DC, considering the acoustics. But I
Yeah.
digress. What were you
Right.
saying?
No, so we have Matt Dougherty in from I.M.P. 930.
The
He's
Anthem,
the
Merriweather, Lincoln Theater,
everything,
everything you want.
all of the cool shit that you go to in
Here's
DC.
everything you want. Here's everything you need.
Pretty much. So
Yeah.
he's talking about how he got involved, how you can get involved, how you could work with Matt, how we are working together with Old Mother and I.M.P with kind of doing cross promotion. How did you define our relationship? Cross promotional butt buddies? Is that what he said?
Grassroot. Oh, us, our relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. Cross promotional, happy people, I
Yeah,
think.
I like that.
Walk
So
around in circles, walk around in circles. See, that's a soul coughing song. I hope
I was about to say, I'm like, dude, that fireball kicked in real fast. Goodness gracious.
not fast enough, buddy. I'll tell you that.
So we are excited to be doing the ticket giveaways with them. We're excited to have Matt on. So Matt, thanks for coming on. And this was a really fun interview. I have one question for you, Colin, before we jump in, and I need to know what is your favorite memory at any of those four venues? So we have 930, Merriweather,
that's really good.
Lincoln Theater, and
The Merriweather, the
Anthem.
anthem.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And you know what? We'll make this quote unquote run long. Give me your favorite at each of them because I know you've been to each at least once.
Oh shit. Well, I referenced during the interview, as you'll hear, at the Lincoln Theater, I saw the Saucer Full of Secrets Nick Mason tour this past October, September, whichever one it was, and that was very good. Cheap wine too, which I enjoyed. So that was very, very, very good. When we go to the 930, I saw Churches there once, and that was probably the best time I saw Churches. Actually, I will probably go with, it's tough. 930 is tough because I've seen a lot of memorable shows that hold a deep place in my heart in that venue. But I might go with Raphael Sadiq. This was all the way before I lived in Maryland. I was working at the newspaper in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and I drove to the 930 Club from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania to see Raphael Sadiq and then drove back for work the next day. That was nuts. So I did that.
It's dedication.
That is dedication. Churches is a close second. And then I was also going to say Leanne La Havas I saw there, and I really love her. The Anthem, I might go with David Gray. I really like the David Gray show I saw there. You can email me at pussy.com. And well, don't do that. That's probably a whole different website. But I might go with David Gray or King Crimson. I saw in their final tour. Their final ever US date was at the Anthem, and it was incredible. They actually put it on a CD. Yes, those things still exist, and I have a copy of that as well. So King Crimson was great there. And then Merriweather, goodness gracious, I don't know. It might be a Killers show I saw there. It was off.
I was waiting for a bad take, and then I wasn't disappointed.
How is that a bad take? It's the Killers.
The Killers they have like what, 2 good records, I think. And
it was off their third album. Thank you very much. That I loved. It's called Day and Age. It had Human was the single off of it. And it was just fantastic. I was in a pit. I was right up front.
Sweaty.
Brandon sweat all over me, and I waved my hands in the air like I did not care. And that was a very memorable show. I really love that. But I'll tell you what, if you ask me in 15 minutes, I'll probably give you 4 separate answers. So now you have to answer the same question.
9:30 Club, I think it's probably my first one, my first show at 9:30 Club. My mom drove us to the metro station. We went with another homeschool family that was really into MXPX at the time, and it was the Panic Tour, and it was Rufio, MXPX,
Oh,
and Reliant K, and it was Reliant K on the tour,
that
and
is so Christian. Yeah,
it was very Christian, and it was I don't think Rufio was, but they needed to get the secular kids out somehow. They got to save those souls.
that's true.
But that was just an amazing show because we were up on the balcony and got to see everything. And it was super cool. Lincoln Theater. I've only been there for a live podcast. Laura and I went and saw Stuff You Should Know, the podcast that was taping there because that's her favorite podcast. Not ours, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
But
Wow.
she hears me talking up.
Oh, yeah.
The anthem, I think, and you can email me at snootydouchebag@couldbebetter.com. It's probably Bon Iver.
Oh, okay. I saw Bon Iver after moving to Maryland, like within the first month or two.
Bon Iver, whatever.
Bon Iver.
It's one of the
Bon
two.
Iver.
But yeah, he was incredible. And that was just such a sick show. The first time ever seeing them, and it was on the latest record, the Million, whatever it was, and I loved that record a bunch. And it was just, I don't know, it was awesome. And then last one is Merriweather. Oh, Honda Civic Tour, baby. Blink-182.
Oh boy.
MCR doing Danger
Yeah.
Days, and it was awful. And but then
I knew you'd
Manchester.
have a bad take. I would rather take the Killers over
Oh, I would too. I would too.
Blink-182.
Oh no, wait, no. Well, so
You're
from the
already going to see Blink-182, aren't you?
I'm seeing them again. Yeah,
tour?
in May. But the opener for that Honda Civic Tour, that was sick. It was so Blink, MCR, and then Manchester Orchestra opened, and it was
that's
awesome
nice.
because I don't know, just a really cool show. They were on the Mean Everything to Nothing record, so it was like blowing up everywhere, and they ended with The River, and they did like this really cool thing where they all down tuned their guitars in like this like melodic fashion that you didn't know they were tuning your guitars, and then they kicked into the song just like effortlessly, and it was just so cool, and it still sticks with me. And so that, I think those were my four at the show. And yeah, I think I would take the Killers over MCR any day. However, I would not take the Killers over Blink. More hits from Blink. People.
No, only the songs that you're playing at emo night with your
So that
all-star
set list.
band.
So it's coming up.
I have a sneak peek of the set list, everybody. I'll get a Texas gift card.
Give me, what did you want on that set list that wasn't there?
Oh, I don't remember now. You should try I Miss You, because you can't do it.
No, because that was the one that was suggested. It was like,
there's no way you can
I Miss You.
It.
No, you just can't.
You just can't do that. You Stay Together for the Kids, I thought you could do.
I thought about that because none of them are. So again, for people that are wanting to go and are wanting to figure out what the Blink-182 set list, and that's your determining factor. One, you're sad. Two, you should go.
Holiday.
But we didn't. There's no solo songs. I was thinking about like Adam's song would be cool.
Yeah, I thought of that too.
Like just doing some of the slower ballad hits. I kind of wanted to do Obvious or Down from the Untitled record, but whatever. Anyway,
and so to bring it all back though, one time at Merriweather Post Pavilion, I stole a poster for somebody, and it was an I.M.P poster that was like hanging up on the bathroom wall or something, and that was because it had Brand New on it. I know I'm not allowed to say that out loud these days, but it had Brand New on it, opening for, if anybody remembers this, Modest Mouse. And we talk about Modest Mouse in this interview. See how professional that segue was. It's just, what is gonna get away from me? Get away from me. No, that's not a good Modest Mouse.
No, it's fine. I'm not a big Modest Mouse person. I don't think nobody in my friend circle really listened to them, so I didn't really listen to them.
Well, we just found out I'm not in your friend circle. That's cool.
You never told me to listen to them. Should I listen? Which record should I listen to?
All of them.
Give me one to start with.
All of them.
Okay.
No, I
This is
want you to go back to the beginning. You talk.
back
I'm
to
gonna
the
look.
beginning. Yeah, that's fine. So Colin's gonna give me a recommendation, and then we'll cue this in, and then Colin and I are gonna have some. We have our PP
I'm gonna
friend
get
time right
another
after this anyway.
fireball. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a
This is
fireball.
our interview with Matt Dougherty from I.M.P. And we are so thankful that they're on. It's full circle, really cool, real special moment for this season. And Matt, we're gonna play you to some arcade games whenever you come up to Frederick. Could be better studios.
That'd be
Appreciate your
great
time.
if he actually, yeah, if he did come. That'd be great. Oh my goodness, it is so. This is the very special episode. We say that every time, but this time we mean it because not only is it our 50th episode, number 50, which equals anybody who's ever listened to this. We've only had 50 people listen over 50 episodes. They're all Chris. But we're here today with somebody very, very special. Matt, would you like to introduce yourself and everything that you do, because you do so much and you're a very, very special guest?
Oh, well, it's a pleasure and honor to be here. Love working and talking to you guys. Yeah, my name's Matt Dougherty. I'm the grassroots marketing manager for I.M.P, who is the promoter and production company of 4 venues in the DMV area. 930 Club, which it started with, Merriweather Post Pavilion in Columbia, Maryland, then the Lincoln Theater in DC, and most recently the Anthem as of 2017. So I field and kind of operate all of the street team measures. do some website stuff, some email marketing stuff, but essentially focus or function as like a marketing assistant. Whatever needs to get done, I try to help out with.
Do you ever get any Matt Doherty jokes from Soul Coughing?
No,
Are
no,
you
that's
the
a deep
same
cut
guy?
though.
No, yeah.
Who's the main guy in Soul Coughing again?
I thought that was him. I thought it was Matt Doherty. I thought that was
Oh,
his name.
that.
So I
No,
could be wrong.
that's the first one I've gotten.
I'll look that. Yeah. Or oh, so you've never gotten that? Did you ever listen to Soul Coughing?
Yeah, because I think it's Mike Dowdy.
Mike Dowdy, that's
Dowdy,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah. That's
God, I'm
right.
sorry. That's you know
It's
what?
okay, but
We'll cancel it. We'll just cancel the podcast.
We'll take that out in post. Matt, which one of those are your favorite? Are you allowed to pick like between those four spots? Because all four are unique and very different and do very different types of things. But I've been to all four, and each of them have special memories in my brain. But also, just want it from like if you're working day to day, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, and as far as I know, I'm allowed to say it. I think I grew up in the DC metro area, so I grew up going to 930 Club, and that's where a lot of my formative memories and best memories of the past 2 decades of my life have been. Our office is actually located right around the corner, so I feel like it's also the place that I spend the most time at, just from a work perspective. But I mean, yeah, they're all phenomenal. Meriwether's beautiful nowadays with the renovations. If you'd been there like 10 years ago, it was a little bit like a outdated summer camp, and now it's very, very modern.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Anthem is of course a little punk opera house down by the water, and Lincoln also is a phenomenal place. Just to see any sort of genre of music. The acoustics, the guy who's been working at it for a while, Sam Moorhead, he has perfected the sound in that room.
Yeah, that's really a great room. Now, I went to there for the first time last year to see the Nick Mason tour, the Pink Floyd tour. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Now, we kind of want to pick your brain a little bit about how you got into this to begin with. It is a very it's got to be a stressful job, I would think, but you have to love it. How did you find yourself at I.M.P?
It's a great way to put it. I always like to say it is a job like any other job. It has very sucky, stressful moments. It's not just it's very much an office and laptop and phone gig. It's not partying with rock stars. It's very dorky. And so I attended UMD for college. And about 10 years ago.
What was your major, Matt? Sorry to interrupt.
I was a history major, of all things.
So using it every day.
Yep. It taught me strong writing skills. I think that's the big thing that came through. But just aside on that, basically, I was attending UMD for 2 years, and they told me I had to choose a major or I couldn't go there anymore. So I chose the professors I liked. And at about the same time, I got pretty jaded with College Park. So I moved out to Baltimore, where I had a few friends going to UMBC and Micah. And they were all performing arts, mainly music folk. So I'd help out, put on shows at like Bell Foundry and Copycat, and tried to also perform myself, but quickly found out I'm not very good. So that would have been like summer of 2013, I think. And on a whim, somebody, I think it may have even been my mom, sent me an article about 930 internships. And so I sent an email to this, like what I thought was a defunct email address. It's literally I want to be an intern at 930.com. And they're crazy enough to get back to me. So it was a marketing internship, which is where I am now. That was kind of like my first formal venue experience. I ended up working at the end of my internship that fall. I loved it. I loved the place. I loved, the staff. So I ended up staying involved in however I could. Worked as an on-site supervisor, as a runner, did merch. And basically, as new opportunities popped up, I said, give me a shot. And from there, I've done some freelance stuff for festivals in the area. Also like festivals that will come to Meriwether. Sometimes I'll work as a contractor for them. But for the most part, all of my musical experience and promotions experience has been with I.M.P. actually. Like I said, with the exception of being furloughed during 2020 and most of 21, that's where I've been at. Yeah, past decade.
Can you tell us something that people would be surprised that you do? So I mean, like you said, it is an office job. It is, office culture, but like you are in the entertainment industry and music industry for that, specific for, I guess, like those venues. But just is there a surprising thing that people might be interested in know, like, oh, huh, like Matt does that?
Yeah, yeah. Part of marketing, especially grassroots marketing, which is supposed to be my wheelhouse, is working with local partners. And so, of course, there are the big ones, like Washington Post, record stores, coffee shops. That makes sense. But there's also a bunch of places like Old Mother,
Wow.
in terms of outside the city limits, where we know people will come to our shows if they hear about them. So my favorite of doing that, we do a festival, a hair metal festival called M3 Rock Festival.
Yeah.
And it's like Winger, Extreme, Kiss, all these 80s kicks, to be clear.
And
And
that,
so for that, some of our best partners for promotions are strip clubs. I get
oh,
to reach out to
well, there
strip
you go.
clubs and be like, "Hey, can we like leave some flyers at the door?" It works really well.
And that sort of kicks off the season for Merriweather, doesn't it? That's always an
Yes,
early show. Yeah.
it is almost always the grand opening.
Okay. You guys
That's
got to sell it
awesome.
out, right? Like that. How good of a draw is that?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
In that consistently over the years, it doesn't quite sell out, but it brings and fills out the pavilion and the lawn.
Mhm.
And something that boggles my mind, like mentioned before, one of the things that I do is I work the VIP check-in as a contractor. And you get people from flying in from like Argentina,
Oh
from
yeah.
California, like all
Yeah.
for this festival. And so
Yeah.
those people keep coming back. There's definitely some local flair, like this year, I think we have Styx headlining.
Mhm.
So like that'll bring in like the new customers, but it's wild. There are thousands of people who will go every year and have the time of their life, kind of just like reliving the glory days.
That's awesome. And that is exactly the answer I was looking for. So that's so good. So Matt, you touched a little bit. So we at Old Mother, so could be better. We partner with Old Mother for all of their entertainment booking and things like that at their venue, which I think we've been doing it for almost 2 years, I think, Colin. I could check
Sure. It's felt like 10.
felt like 10. My God. Yeah. These last 2 years, it felt like 7. So yeah, it's been fun. But so with that, we are excited that this year, and I guess kind of end of December or beginning of December, we started this partnership with I.M.P with just I guess how would you kind of define our relationship, Matt?
Yeah,
Let us down easy.
it's what like again, along with one of my coworkers, Rupa, who's our promotions manager and partnerships manager. I guess we call it like a cross promotional partnership, where we identify ways to work with each other that specifically don't cost money, or like don't have to sign a big ad deal or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And usually, like my capacity is typically trade of promotional materials. So like you guys will have your events where we could hopefully get like a shout out or physical materials out. And then thankfully we have 4 venues that we can do our own promo at. So I remember you guys gave us posters for different events that we were able to throw up in the bathrooms and then all across the venues, as well as send out to some of our promotional partners who receive stuff from us on a monthly basis. But yeah, it's I feel like that's where we're at so far, but there are definitely opportunities for like digital and social media partnerships, just retweeting, spamming posts, etc. That's not my world though. If I touch social media, I would get fired immediately.
Yeah, and that's just one thing I did want to call out too, because so we actually are doing a ticket giveaway. So for folks that are listening on Weave, by the time this episode comes out, we have already launched our ticket giveaway for the Crystal Casino Band playing February 9th at the 930 Club. And so tickets and the contest are available wherever the internet exists. And so we'll have links in there. But it's been really cool for us. We've gotten some really cool feedback of when people walk into Old Mother now and they see I.M.P flyers up there, in the bathrooms as they're kind of walking through, and it's like, oh, the Foo Fighters are coming through, or oh, this is happening. It's like this is really cool to kind of see that happening. So we're just excited to kind of be a part of this.
Likewise.
And it's just really cool because we're gonna kind of do a rapid fire question here in just a second, where we just kind of ask some quick questions. But it's like some of my favorite foundational moments as a consumer of music or a music lover has been at 9:30, has been at the Anthem, has been at the Lincoln Theater. So it's just really special to kind of just see all of the DMV music community just kind of bonding together for promotion. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to give a special shout out to one of our interns this past fall, Jacob, who lives up in Frederick. And, like I said, although our venues are based in DC and Columbia, like people will come out for shows all over, and that there's serious populations of people, especially young people, who are looking for an outlet. Which there are spots locally, but for like bigger sort of shows, 1,000 capacity plus, usually it's like a Baltimore DC option. And I, working with DC partners is great, but I especially love also having grown up in Maryland. Like reaching out to other parts of the state.
Yeah, that's great. That leads us, I think, to at least we have this very special. Everything is very special, of course. It's a very special day. We have this very special section that it's specialties section where we kind of lob a bunch of very quick questions at you with quick answers. So
Okay.
First thought, best thought. It's an exercise.
Yes. And let me just kind of just jump into, so for specialties, the special-tees.com for anybody that is using any sort of printing promotions or wanting to get some t-shirts done. You're going to go ahead and just reach out to them at special-tees.com. You'll use any sort of promo code, either could be better, or you'll just send them a email and tell them could be better sent you, and you will get 10% off your first order. So Matt, we're going to kind of jump right into our specialties segment now. like Colin was saying, they're kind of quick. So my first, so we'll do Colin, I almost want to do 10, like 5 for me and 5 for me for this, because I have so many questions with Matt. So we're just going to go, can we do 10? Let's do 10.
Hey, well,
yeah, I'm cool with it.
I guess there we go. I mean, that's what we've done every other episode, so I don't know why you're changing it now. Here we go. I'll ask the first one. You said 9:30 holds a special place in your heart. Give us your favorite show you've seen at the 9:30.
Explosions in the Sky. I think it was 2016.
Okay.
I've been longtime fan, or am I to elaborate or just leave it?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah.
Longtime fan, and they absolutely crushed it. Strangely, one of the loudest shows that I've ever been to.
That is so true. I saw them at Ramshead maybe in 2018. I think it was the tour after the one you might have saw.
Yeah, the Wilderness tour.
Yeah. And I went home and couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, which is fun for a band with no vocals.
I know.
But the entire production was gorgeous. They seemed to have a really good time. It was just, one of those very there was a certain temperature in the room that was just fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
Matt, my question number 2 is the song you sent us. I have no idea what it is. Can you tell us a little bit about what that song was?
Yeah, it's Perfect Shot by a band called Link, who are from Olympia, Washington. It came out sometime, I want to say like 94. It came to mind for me because recently Jeremiah Green, the drummer from Modest Mouse, passed away prematurely. And it got me kind of thinking about that sort of scene during the 90s, and between like all the folks like Beck, Modest Mouse, Built to Spill, they all loved this band Link, who is fronted by a guy named Sam Jane, later went on to become Love Is Laughter. But this was when they were all teenagers hanging out in Olympia, the K record scene sort of thing. I love it, and I feel like everybody that I show it to also loves it.
That's great. That is great. Now, you said before, this is question number 3, that you played music. What did you play?
Guitar.
So you played guitar. Did you ever want to play anything else like drums? It's a bonus question.
Yeah, there's always a desire, and screwing around on my friend's drum kit during band practice and them getting really mad. Ultimately it's like first love, primary love,
guitar.
Yeah, I'd say in terms of like other stuff, I've always been jealous of piano players.
Mm-hmm.
I can do the one hand thing, but the 2-hand thing, it just
tough.
doesn't register.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
All right,
Um,
Chris.
Question number 4, Matt. So, so where you're at now with I.M.P and doing all the promotions, if you could, so you've kind of seen a whole bunch of stuff. If you could pick your dream role in the company, what would it be?
Oh wow, that's a great question.
And
Well,
yes,
don't.
we will send this to your boss for part of the performance review for your stretch goals. Yes.
Oh man. Uh I mean, again, the job sucks. It has sucky moments, but sort of directing any sort of hospitality,
Mm.
fulfilling riders, that sort of thing. I.M.P is very well known for fulfilling it to the maximum, and pulling off some crazy stuff at the last minute, being like, "Oh, this performer wanted like a beef jerky that's only made in Portland," and somehow making sure that it gets there to the dressing room that day.
Mm.
And that sort of stuff blows my mind.
Mm.
It's all with love. It has sucky moments, but again, I think it makes a world of difference when people come in. Like, it's not just a half-eaten pizza; it's what they asked for.
Right.
Um,
Well, that
and
that will lead me to my third question then, which would be, what is the craziest thing you've seen on a rider?
oh well, yeah, and I'm completely okay saying this because it's, I believe at this point, like publicly out there. But Gogo Bordello has
Oh,
the wildest. It's more of a prose piece, like just paragraphs and paragraphs of important stuff, but then also venturing into like, oh well, we will also require 12 belly dancers available from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and and again, it's not bulleted out. It's all written as
oh,
prose.
mhm. Wow.
Some of it's facetious, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the trick is finding out what's facetious and what's not.
Right.
Do you remember which one in there was the one that sticks out to you the most? That's like, oh, that's wild. And I.M.P actually did it. Like 12 belly
That's a great
dancers. It was
question.
crazy. That they put you in a dress and everything, and it was amazing.
So I don't off of the Google one, I can't remember, but I remember we had a hip hop artist who maybe it was IDK. I feel like it was somebody local. Um, oh no, somebody with Selection. In like the Gold Link sound. I cannot remember the artist's name, but they sold out U-Haul, and in their rider was they wanted $1,000 in 20s with their face on it, instead of the Jefferson.
Hmm.
And that was one where hospitality actually called me and was like, "Hey, do you have a printer and a Xerox machine and a cutting board?" So we put that together.
That's
Um,
awesome. Um, number question 6. I lost count. So who is on your bucket list that you haven't seen come through I.M.P venues that you would love to see?
it's probably a little lame, but Neil Young.
Oh, there you
Hey,
go.
that's not lame at all.
Oh, I would adore to see him in any form. It seems like I know he does like Beacon Hall in New York City every
Mhm.
now and then. But if there were to be a DC date, I.M.P or not, I would absolutely go.
He's an audiophile. He probably wants. He's like all about the best sounding room. So that leads me to what I guess would be my fourth question to you. What is the best sounding room in DC?
Mm.
Again, we talked about a little of this before, but I think maybe Lincoln
You're
Theater.
gonna go Lincoln? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've seen everybody from Kendrick to Adrian Lenker, Big Thief,
Mm-hmm.
to James Blake there, and
Yeah.
what are the guys on the production team, like Sam Moorhead, Pearson, and a lot of the guys who've been there forever did a lot of work. Sherman as
Mm-hmm.
well, perfecting the sound in that room,
Hmm.
for anything.
Yeah.
It's uh, not a hip hop room. It's not a theatric room. It's not a punk room. It's literally any, and it does podcasts,
Yeah.
or live podcasts, comedy shows. Yeah,
All
so
right.
it's kind of like the sneaky, unexpected one. That room sounds gorgeous.
There we go.
Matt, for people that are interested, so you said our connection was Jacob. So shout out to Jake from Frederick for kind of just making this marriage possible. But from other folks that want to get involved with I.M.P or really kind of get involved, what would you kind of recommend people do? I mean, like I'm not sure you would suggest people get a history major from UMD and then kind of go down the same pathway, but could you tell us a little bit about what you suggest for people now?
Yeah, it's something where I'm really happy, and part of the reason I think I love so many of my coworkers is we all come from different walks of life. Some went to school, some didn't. Yeah, some are also working full time, full time sort of nonprofit or lawyer gigs during the day, and then the work bar at night. So the biggest thing that I always say is to get involved, however you can. The kind of the two least intensive ways at first typically are join the street team, I.M.P street team, which is just street at 930.com. And that's something where, we about 120 people on the team and about 30 of them active at any given time. I don't expect everybody to be, like there every single week, but it's something where, if you go to even just one show a month, you can be part of it. And help hand out flyers after the show and get free tickets that way. So street team, absolutely a way. We have our internship program, which is only growing. It's wild. At this point, we have our marketing internship, our comms internship, and our graphic design internship. All of those are seasonal, typically, based off of like spring, summer, fall/winter. And you can get involved that way through I Want to Be an Intern. I wanna be an intern at 930.com. And then the good news is it's paid. I believe it starts at $16.50 an hour now, which is now DC min. And last but not least, depending on hours, the internships are more daytime availability. If you're looking for nighttime availability, everything from like box office to merch to ushers, door staff, all the in crew, stagehand, etc. All of them have entry level positions available, and you may think I don't have any experience doing this, but we'll train you. We will 1,000% train you. Like if you show up and do a good job, there's a whole world to learn. So those are my primary options. Again, typically, folks that will work at 930 in Lincoln, or folks that work at 930 will also do Lincoln, and so back and forth. Anthem kind of has its own workforce, and then Meriwether totally has its own, just for spatial and distance reasons.
So my final question to you, we've talked exclusively about music here, and I would assume you have to have a big passion for music from everything you've said, and you also maybe you have a passion for marketing too, and you just love being around people. What is a passion, the least music thing about you that nobody knows that you are really into?
Yeah, I am a closeted Commanders fan, a very, very big football fan. I didn't really feel comfortable talking about it until Dan Snyder said that he was open to selling the team. Yeah. And that was the floodgates for me. I was like, I could be out and proud now. That, and then also video games. Okay. Absolutely love video games. I have a PS4. It's been a major part of my entire life. So I'd say like outside of going to shows and working, that's actually probably my second biggest activity is games.
What's your game? And I guess follow up, maybe not my final question, but game of choice. Do you have a couple that you're like, hey, this is my ride or die, or?
Yeah. As of late, I have a couple of pals, and actually former coworkers too that I still play with, and kind of like the online. They're not MMORPGs, but like GTA 5 online, Red Dead 2 online, where you could do really calm stuff like playing poker, but you can also do missions. It's really, really enjoyable way to pass the time, especially with friends who don't live in the area anymore. And then unfortunately, while we were furloughed, we got really into Warzone, and unfortunately pretty good at it. So we've been playing Warzone 2 a decent bit.
If you're ever up in Frederick, the Could Be Better Studios has an amazing arcade, and we would love to host you and take all of your money in NBA Jam or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Awesome. Yeah. I grew up on that stuff, and all the Rockstar games. My brother is also a very big Japanese game fan, and so all the Metal Gear Solid and Kojima stuff also very much in my alley.
Cool.
Awesome. I think I have one more question, or is that it, Colin?
That's up to you. This is number 10.
This is number 10, and I wasn't thinking. Oh, Matt. So, you are our, I guess, our third guest, technically fourth guest this season. For people that don't know, again, they don't know you. Now they do. They know where you work. They know they can come find you. We can come find ways to work together. What's one last thing that you want to just tell the airwaves or the people out there, kind of in your closing remarks, what they should know either about you, what they should know about, life in general, something that you've learned? Just give us some imparting Matt Dougherty wisdom here.
Yeah. This actually came from my former boss, who she actually now books Bowery Ballroom. Wonderful human being named Maggie Cannon, and just on like a professional level, but also a personal level, one of the most important things she imparted on me, whether she meant to or not, which I joke about with her, is like, you can get stuff done without being a dick. Like, it's okay to stand up for yourself and defend yourself, but there's no reason to be an asshole. So that's always sort of resonated with me, again, professionally, but also personally. When strife and trouble comes up, you don't need to be a dick. You can still get through it. Yeah.
That's good. Great. That's good life advice too. Tell Chris that, because he's a dick to me all the time.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, we're both just jerks to each other all the time. You should have been in our pre-show meeting, Matt. It was tense. But Matt, thank you. Yeah,
if you're on the same wavelength, I totally get it.
Sure. Yeah, we live in the waves. So Matt, thank you so much for coming on. Thanks for spending time with us. So we have all of the links that we've talked about. We'll have them in the show notes. Again, we're talking about the partnership with I.M.P, Old Mother, and Could Be Better. I'm excited for the digital promotion stuff going forward. We're excited for the Crystal Casino Band CD release show Thursday, February 9th at 9:30 Club.
Also, all GW kids or former GW kids.
Yeah. And what's cool, we just had them on the podcast. We reached out to them after we did the giveaway. Yeah. And they came on, and they are all lovely people. So we're excited for future opportunities like that. We hope you guys listen to the podcast, and we can kind of you can tell us, yeah, this was great, we'll send you more, and then we can maybe talk to Neil Young when he comes through. Matt, thank you so much for coming on, and appreciate your time.
Yeah, right back at you.
Thank you. Good evening. We're St. Thomas.
The Could Be Better podcast is allegedly heard in 25 different countries around the world, and definitely still not recorded in a bedroom.
Yeah, okay. Still, check out our worldwide website, www.couldbebettermeh.com, for links to our social media and our fancy brand new revamped YouTube channel that now has actual video.
And if you don't like what you see, well, neither do we. But if you want to hear from smarter, better, more educated and cultured people, please check out the new podcasts, This Is Not My Magnum Opus and The Weekly with Kiki, on our brand new Could Be Better podcast network. And don't hesitate to leave us or them, actually, probably just them, a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, Chris, did I miss anything?
Yeah, man, we do a lot of shows. Whatever.
Well, can I find them on our website?
I'm Chris Perry.
And I'm Colin McGuire, and we are out of time. So for now, remember, everybody, this always could be better.